Hey, it's Travis, the Oscar Mike Radio. How are you doing? Oscar Mike Radio is a military veterans podcast slash show. And I talk about military stories, military events, military history, veterans in action, advocating for other veterans, their own nonprofits, business, what have you. Thank you so much. And trying out some new stuff, got some new stuff going on. Want to call attention to my hat. Look at the hat and check out that, right? First of all, the hat fits. That's the coolest thing. But the real cool thing, look at that again. Look at that again. You see that? That patch and the way that it was stitched the hat was done by Alpha Bravo Custom Designs. They're out of Kansas. A husband and wife military team. The husband is a veteran. The wife is serving right now. Brian and Thea are doing this together, and we're looking at and working on developing a partnership. So just really happy. I mean, look how cool this is in the black. I mean, it's enough to draw you in. Like, I really dig this, man. And I didn't know what was going to happen. I just said, you know what? Here's my logo. Here's my stuff. Do something with it. And they did this. So really cool. There's a lot of other good stuff coming along the way. Really pleased to have John and Stacy Curry of Semper Savage supporting Oscar Mike Radio. I love their stuff. You'll see a affiliate link in the show post where you can try out their Battle Buddy 2-pack or their Fire Team 4-pack. They just dropped new dressing marinade flavors, the Semper Savage Caesar and the Savage Cider. It's all good stuff. And again, just want to thank my sponsors, Joyce Asack of Asack Real Estate, Mark Holmes of Reaper Detailing and Power Washing, Get Reaperfied, and Sean Schubert of Red Seal Martial Arts. They all support veterans or are veterans themselves. Thank you. A little coffee there. I'm doing this in the morning for a change, and I'm trying out a couple other different things. Wanted to kind of, tell part of my military story. The weird thing is, I talked about the last time I did this, was the Reaper. And unofficially, if you go to MCRD San Diego and you do the Reaper, unofficially, you're a Marine. Oh, well. Officially, you're not until you're pinned. But unofficially, you are. And here's the weird thing. I thought about, I was going to talk about my graduation and, how I felt and, marching out, all that stuff. But the reality is, and it's not because I'm getting old, because there's some parts of boot camp that I can remember with excruciating detail and feel it as I'm talking about it. But this is not. So I'm going to try to, wrap up MCRD and Goodbye San Diego, because it's funny. I don't know if this is in life, and this made me question, the female mindset even more. Is maybe I remember the bad stuff better than the good stuff. I don't know, because there's some good memories I've had that, like the birth of my children and other things that I remember, quite well. But it's really weird. I don't remember that, but I remember other parts of boot camp well. I don't understand that. And it seems like, wait a minute, you would think that, childbirth is a pretty traumatic event. Women tend to forget all the pain and suffering, and they want to do it again, which we'll talk about that another time. That's not the focus of this. Childbirth is an amazing experience. I highly recommend it because I don't have to go through it. But it's an amazing thing, but it leads me to some questions. Oh man, I cracked myself up. So let's talk about the time from the Reaper to where I got out, and I'll try to be concise and not ramble too much. After the Reaper, after you come down from the Reaper, you get ready to leave Camp Pendleton and do third phase. And that's like 4 more weeks. And what it is, you go through your final, water swim qual, your, final timed PFT score, knowledge training, and drill. I mean, we drilled like it was nobody's business. More PT. You still got smoked. The intensity did not let up. And it was also where you had to do your collateral duties, which was for us working in the chow hall, and we do guard duty. That's right. So I'll start with guard duty first because it was only like one night. You had to guard MCRD San Diego, which I'm sitting there thinking about it. We're literally in the middle of downtown San Diego, and the airport is just over there. Like you can get on a plane and take off and land in San Diego, depending upon your approach vector. And if you look close, you can see stuff going on. If you have a pair of binoculars in the plane, you can see stuff going on. But so it you have to guard, the base. And so I got to guard it was some storage shed. It wasn't like I was guarding an ammo depot or the mortar pool or the chow hall even. It was like shed, at building, 2146 Yankee -Y or something. I don't know. And the drill instructor, and I remember which one it was. It was Drill Instructor Sergeant Ichon. He was Asian American, and he could be a sadistic little bastard. Let me tell you what. Did not have any tolerance for BS at all. And he was one of the juniors, one of the heavies, and he relished his role. But he took me out there and, in with the accent and everything, said, you're going to start here, walk down there and walk back, rifle over your shoulder. And when you're approached by the series drill instructor or the, company first sergeant, make sure you sound off. And it was from like midnight to, 2 o'clock in the morning, because they had to cycle a lot of us through for this, guard duty. And I remember this, where it's 2 o'clock in the morning and it's quiet. It's one of the few times, except for the planes. Even the planes are kind of quiet because, they didn't run all day long. It was from about 05 to 10 o'clock where the planes were just taking off all day long from San Diego Airport. So it was quiet. There's no running going on, so there's no cadence being called. There's no drill going on, so there's no cadence being called. There's no recruits sounding off. It's as quiet as it's going to get, at that time. And so, I'm walking, and it wasn't 100 feet. It was maybe like, 50 feet. My rifle's held over my shoulder. I'm you know, left, right, get to the point, had to do an about face, turn around, walk back. And you couldn't really, for what I was doing, you really couldn't stop. There was no break. You didn't have to run, but for what I was doing, you had to move. And some of them didn't have to move. Some of them were put at some of my, boot camp mates were put at a door or a gate location, and they were either at parade rest or at, rifles over their shoulders. And if I've missed all this, this is kind of fuzzy, but I'm trying here, right? Work with me here. So you do this, and sure enough, there comes the, company first sergeant with the, platoon commander, and, you get the sound off, good evening, sir. Good evening, first sergeant. My name is recruit. This is recruit. I wasn't a private yet. Wasn't a PFC. Wasn't a Marine yet. Do the whole thing. Recruit party team reporting. Building 264 secure with nothing for the report, sir. And then, the captain would say some flowery words of wisdom and encouragement, and keep watch, Devil Dog. Oh, it wasn't Devil Dog. Sorry, it was not Devil Dog. Sorry, I wasn't a Devil Dog yet. Keep watch, recruit, maintain. Something like that. I don't know. And you go about your way. So that was that. I got done with my 2 hours. I didn't fall asleep. I kept moving. No big deal. The second thing was we had to do chow hall duty. And that was everything from cleaning the chow hall, and the Marine Corps chow hall at Parris Island and MCRD San Diego has to be one of the cleanest places, two of the cleanest places on earth to eat a meal. They don't have to worry about overtime and workers' rights and wages and stuff like that. It can make you clean all night long. You'll get done cleaning and you got to start cleaning again just to make sure you didn't miss anything. So there was that. There was the juice prep, all that stuff. You didn't want the pot shack. That's where they put people who either irritated the drill instructors. There's a couple guys in my platoon who endeared themselves to the drill instructors greatly with little shenanigans they pulled. They got put in the pot shack, and basically it's a sauna where, you're doing industrial class washing of pots and pans for food prep. We got to work the dessert line, which sucked because, I was a diet private. I went to boot camp weighing like 205 pounds from weightlifting and everything. And they said I was fat, and that's a different story. I didn't get into that, but it made dessert duty all that worse because, there's all my other little skinny Marines, helping themselves to an extra piece of chocolate pie. And I didn't have any. I had done really well. I did not, mess that part of my training up. I lost weight and, got down to the Marine Corps number, which is for my height and build is 173 pounds, which, no wonder your mom looks at you as if you were, what did they do to you when you were in? I looked emaciated. I did. Anyway, so I did the kitchen duty for a week. More shots. Everybody wonders why I don't like going to medical, why I don't like getting shots. Well, I mean, the Marine Corps did not help that. I didn't get over that. And I'm like, what the hell they put in my body? And then more drill. more drill. And one of the things is the funniest thing, is you had to arrange your leave time. After boot camp, you get a maximum of 2 weeks leave. You can take up to 2 weeks. And 90% of guys go home. I didn't go home. I didn't see the need to take 2 weeks off. I'm like, it's not going anywhere. It's going to be there regardless if I take 2 weeks off or not. It's going to suck one way or the other. But I was told at the time, we graduated Marine Corps boot camp, and then because I was not an infantry MOS, I went to what's called MCT, or Marine Combat Training, right back up in Camp Pendleton, not too far from where we did in San Onofre Valley. I forget the actual post name in Camp Pendleton, but it's right by the School of Infantry. And I'll get to that later because MCT was pretty cool. But I'm like, it's not going anywhere. I got to do it before I get to my MOS. Let's just go. So I'll get in that next time. But I didn't go home. And the funny thing was, none of the drill instructors or the platoon commander, his name is Lieutenant Russo. He was an artillery lieutenant. None of them liked that idea at all. They were not wild about that at all. But here's the thing. I might have been little Private Partington, but within reason, I could do what I wanted to do, even though I belonged to Uncle Sam. So it's just told me that, if it's making them uncomfortable, then it's definitely something that I need to do, because I get to have some control over my future. Yeah. So I made arrangements to stay at a little hotel in San Diego, had transport lined up to pick me up because I like San Diego. I wanted to see it. It looked pretty beautiful in the little sneak peeks as I was going up and down to Camp Pendleton and back. I'm like, this is a place I want to check out. The weather's fantastic. Girls must be pretty. I wish they all could be, right? I want to check it out. And there's other things too, but I wanted to, immerse myself in a different culture and experience for a little while with no one telling me what to do. And that's what I did. And they were not happy about it. I mean, they weren't happy about it, to the point where I got a call at the hotel from some, duty NCO making sure I'd checked in. So I coordinated all that. I was pretty happy, pretty proud of myself that I'm going to stay in a hotel. I'm going to make sure to get a king size bed. I want a king size bed. I didn't care. I want a king size bed, and I want it near a Blockbuster Music. That's how old I am. And then after all that, you get your uniform fitting, your final one. And I had the same old problem where they had to go in the back closet to get covers big enough to fit my head. I wore either a size 8 or 7/7/8 military cover. And let me tell you what, even the supply guy was like, who's this guy? To which my drill instructors at this point were just enjoying themselves way too much at my expense. Like, they call the other drill instructors from the other platoons. Holy crap. You weren't kidding me. He has a huge grape. I mean, it is what it is. It sucks. It sucks now. The struggle's real, but yeah. Once they figured that out, the fun began, right? So uniform sizing, uniform pictures, they tell you not to smile. You're not supposed to do this. You're supposed to look grim, which again, doesn't make your mom very happy, but hey, is what it is. And then you get ready to graduate, and all I remember was, we got up, we got dressed, and the senior drill instructor, and they all give their speeches and stuff like that. We had turned in all our weapons and everything else. Everything was packed up, ready to go. I mean, once we stepped off the tarmac, or the quarter deck or train area, whatever you want to call it, we were on our own. And, it was going to be one of the last times we got talked to. We marched out. We did the ceremony where we are presented, then we're made U.S. Marines. And then I had my sea bag there with clothes that I carried with me. And I'm like, okay, I gotta do this thing. I'm done. And I do remember that all of a sudden the drill instructors actually like talk to you, crack jokes with you and welcomes you aboard. And, I thought I'd made it, only to find out about, a week and a half, 2 weeks later that, okay, you've gotten over one hill, but being a private doesn't afford you any kind of additional real respect. You're right back at zero again. That's for a different time. But it's really weird. I really can't remember the nuances of graduation, but I can tell you exactly in sequential order what happened from the time I landed in San Diego to get off the bus, waiting the USO, getting on the bus, going to the yellow footprints. I can tell you every minute of that. I can tell you about, the guys puking up their dinner because they were trying to hydrate for urinalysis with extreme detail, but I really can't remember that last couple of days I was at boot camp. And with that being said, I'm like, you know what? Okay, then it's just time to end this part of my military story series and talk about, what I did between boot camp and MCT next time. And MCT, which I actually really liked. I liked MCT a lot. I have very little complaints about that. And then we'll go into MOS school, which I still say to this day, Hawk school sucked worse than boot camp in some regards. People think I'm full of it. Some of my Hawk classmates might agree, but for us, it was not a fun 4 months. Just wasn't. Lots of good stuff going on. I really hope you come back next week for number 236. It's a great guest, Steve Empt. He talks about his story. I want to thank all the supporters again. Check out their stuff in my show posts. If you have a story or your business or your nonprofit and you want to get your message out there, let me know. I'd be happy to talk with you. And I'm going to end by saying, be savage, not average, and get yourself some Semper Savage. Enjoy this life. And goodbye, San Diego.